there, sports fans. This is Play Try TV. We are going to be complete with our guests, and we've got an outstanding show lined up for you because today, in this episode, we will be celebrating in advance the 25th anniversary of the Philippine Paralympic movement. And yes, our Philippine Paralympic Committee is coming off an remarkable performance in the recently held ASEAN Paragames in Solo, Indonesia. And with us in this episode is first and foremost the Philippine Paralympic Committee President, our good friend, Michael Barredo.
Hi there, Michael.
Yes, and good to see you. Good to know that the Paralympic movement is going strong, as always, with you at the helm. And we've got 4 medalists from the recent ASEAN Paragames to join us to relate their experiences in Indonesia, as well as their life stories being athletes. First of all, from chess, our FIDA master. He's 37 years old, 4 golds in the ASEAN Paragames. Let's welcome Sander Savarino.
Hello, Sir Kenny. Hello, good afternoon sa lahat ng nanonood ng late night.
Naku, maraming salamat, Sander. And Sander is coming all the way from Silay, Negros Occidental. Pangalawa, and she happens to be the darling of the ASEAN Paragames, only 19 years old, but she was able to snare 3 golds in the ASEAN Paragames in the sport of swimming. Let's welcome Angel Otom.
Hello po. Good afternoon.
Hi there, Angel. And Angel is coming all the way from Castillejos, Zambales. Nice to see you and nice to have you as a guest on Play Try TV. Pangatlo, this guy is a 2-time Paralympian. Made his debut in the 2016 Rio Paralympics and then in the 2021 Tokyo Paralympics. Let's welcome a 2-time gold medalist in the ASEAN Paragames in athletics, Gerald Mangliwan, 42 years old. Gerald, kumusta? Kumusta ang kotse natin?
Yes po, sir. Thank you po. Thank you po sa pag-imbita sa amin sa Play It Right TV at kinakagalak po namin na nandito sa inyong programa. Sana mag-enjoy po kayo ng mga nanonood at nakikinig sa programa. Thank you very much po.
Ako, mag-enjoy tayo. Totoo yan. At nabanggit ko, nasa kotse ka, nasa loob, pero binigyan mo kami ng oras mo to be with us. And later on, we're gonna be talking about your wheelchair, in wheelchair racing. Ang tatak Toyota. Wow, okay. Yeah, pag-uusapan natin yan. And last but certainly not the least, someone who is the face of the Philippine Paralympic movement, a 2-time Paralympian, and in the ASEAN Paragames, a 2 gold medalist performer in swimming, Ernie Gawilan.
Hello po, sir. Good afternoon po sa inyo, sir. At sa mga nanonood po ng TV po.
Okay, Ernie is 31 years old and he is coming all the way from Davao. Well, kompleto na ang cast natin and let's talk about the Paralympic movement. First off, Mr. Barredo, tell us about the Philippine Paralympic Committee. Tell us about the upcoming 25th anniversary. Tell us about our participation in the ASEAN Paragames. The floor is yours, Mr. Barredo.
Thank you, Kinito. Yes, well, as you said, it's the 25th year since we started this para-sports development and the Paralympic movement in our country through Phil Spada. And I'd like to mention and take this opportunity to thank and to give this tribute to our past president, Fidel V. Ramos, who had then actually given me a directive in December of 1996 to form a national sports organization that will spearhead all the matters related to physical fitness and sports activities for people with disability. And it's a tribute that, of course, he passed away, but we actually offer the successful campaign in Solo, Jakarta for the 11th ASEAN Paragames to him and his help in urging us to pursue this Paralympic movement. And
Michael,
yeah,
please.
Yes, and of course the ASEAN Paragames Kinito started in 2001. We did host this back in 2005, and of course it's been quite a difficult few years. Our last participation in this games was in the ninth ASEAN Paragames held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, 2017. And unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we were supposed to host the 10th ASEAN Para Games in Manila, and but it was canceled because of the pandemic. And of course, Hanoi withdrew in its staging of the games in Vietnam for the 11th. And we're thankful. We're thankful that Indonesia stepped in and hosted these games. They hosted the games back in 2011 as well. So we're happy that the games were continued, the 11th ASEAN Para Games, and in spite of the fact that we've had 4 to 5 years of a gap from the last games at this level, we did very well. So I'm happy for that, and I hope that we will even do better in next year's 12th ASEAN Para Games in Cambodia.
Well, Mike, you've dedicated your life to recognize the performance and the excellence of para athletes. Tell us why you have this drive, this inner motivation to give recognition to our para athletes.
Well, as having been an athlete myself, Kinito, during my uh, high school, college days, grade school days, and of course, the accident happening to me when I was about 24 years old. I've always been call it a sportsman, and I felt that I had to continue getting involved with sports in spite of the fact that I had become had a disability. So I pursued this, and I'm glad that there is such a thing as para sports and the Paralympic movement. So it gave me a venue to continue my involvement, and as such, I believe that it is so important that even people with disability engage or involve themselves in sports, because it definitely develops, or if not, strengthens one's competitive spirit. It heightens self-esteem, and of course, self-confidence. So I feel that for people with disability, sports is important for their overall well-being. And in other words, like able-bodied athletes, it is important for our call it our brothers and sisters that have disabilities to be involved, because then they will now look at problems as challenges, and of course using sports as a venue to be able to show their abilities rather than their disabilities. So it's a showcase of their abilities, and I believe they can inspire our countrymen and inspire other athletes to achieve sporting excellence. And I think overall, I would think that the challenges they face on a daily basis are now easily overcome for the fact that they're able to gain this self-confidence they have through sport. And again, pursuant, if not aligned with the IPC or the International Paralympic Committee vision, we would like to have, of course, an inclusive world through parasport, an inclusive Philippines through parasport. So hoping that this will continue and impact on our society for as long as we can perform well.
Well, Mike, the country salutes you for your efforts, for what you've done for para athletes and for the Paralympic movement. And we also know that in 2013, the International Olympic Committee awarded you the most prestigious Paralympic Order award in recognition of those efforts and what you have done for the movement. But now let's talk about the ASEAN Para Games. We've got a graphic that we've prepared to show how the Philippines has performed from 2015 to 2017 and this year in the ASEAN Para Games. Let's show that graphic. And here we see that in 2015, we had 16 gold medals, 59 total medals. In 2017, we had 20 gold medals and 69 total medals. But in 2022, record-breaking, the highest ever, 28 gold medals, 104 total medals. That's the highest since we have participated in the ASEAN Para Games. Mike, what can you attribute this outstanding performance this year?
Well, of course, again, I think our athletes, our para athletes, were very hungry, Kinito, after the several years gap of at this level, as I said, hungry and eager to perform. And I would think, Kinito, one of the important reasons why our para sports movement is improving greatly is because of the fact that in 2015, if you'll notice your timeline, this is when the expanded law to include persons with disabilities became a law in 2015 when it was signed by Benigno Aquino, President Aquino, and this gave incentives, benefits, in other words, allowances year round, and recognition, more importantly, by the Philippine government of our para athletes as national para athletes, and therefore be given, of course, the same benefits and what do you call it, privileges as our able national athletes have. Although, of course, they are getting incentives, we did go at par at the time that we pushed for the law. Although, of course, right now it's not the same, and I think there is a movement and a strong push for us to amend the 10699 again to put at par our incentives being given to our para athletes in the ASEAN Paragames, the Southeast Asian level, the Asian Paragames in Asia, and of course the Paralympics compared to the Olympics. I give this to, of course, also Ganito, the call it the overall support, the all-out support of our government through the Philippine Sports Commission. I have to really we are thankful. Our gratitude goes to the government for bankrolling, call it everything that we need for our participation in the games, and of course all the way up to the Paralympic and most elite level. So, with government support, with the incentives law or 10699 in place, and of course a growing expanding pool of para athletes, officials, and classifiers, we're headed towards the right direction. And I suppose perhaps with the entry of the private sector, eventually, there are now a few, Kinito, companies that are supporting the Paralympic movement in our country. And I hope all of these things will coming together one time for us to achieve that elusive gold medal. Hopefully, who knows, in the 2024 Paralympic Games in Paris, France.
Well, great foundation for the future, Mike Barredo. And now let's talk more about the ASEAN Para Games. And we've noticed that 3 sports contributed 72 medals out of our total 104 medals from Solo, Indonesia. Let's show that graphic to be able to give our viewers an idea of the 3 sports that dominated our medal performance. Swimming had 12 golds, 5 silvers, and 5 bronzes for a total of 22. Chess had the most medals overall, 10 golds, 11 silver, and 5 bronze, 26 total. Athletics, 6, 4, and 14 for a total of 24. Those 3 sports are now represented in this show because we have 2 swimmers, 1 chess FIDE master, and 1 practitioner of athletics and wheelchair racing with us in this program. And let's talk to them now one by one. First of all, I'd like to talk to Angel Oton, 19 years old, and you know her history is outstanding. At Angel, doon nga sa Solo, Indonesia, nakakuha ka ng golden medal sa 50 meters freestyle, 50 meters backstroke, 50-meter butterfly. Yung 50-meter butterfly, grabe yung ginawa mo doon, Angel, because you eclipsed the record ng ASEAN Paragames, which was set in 2005 by nearly 8 seconds. Paano mo nagawa yon, Angel? Kasi grabe talaga, and saludo ang buong Pilipinas sa ginawa mo. Angel.
So, lahat naman po, nagsimula po yun sa trainings namin with Coach Tony and sa madami ko pang coaches po. So, nung una po, dun po nag-a-attend po kami ng mga gyms every morning sa Zoom. And then, nung nagkita-kita na po kami sa Ultra, mas matindi pong training yung ginawa po namin. At doon na po, nung nakita ko yung mga ka-teammates ko, na-motivate po ako na mag-training ng mas maayos. At saka actually po, yung 50-meter butterfly po ay di ko na po talaga in-expect na doon ko doon po ako mag-excel kasi ang main na langoy ko po is backstroke. And then, yung backstroke ko din po, na-break din po yung meet record nun. Pero mas napansin po yung butterfly ko. Pero, and nakakatuwa po kasi sa mga pinaghirapan po namin, naging worth it po, naging maganda yung resulta. Kahit nakakapagod, at the same time, yung pagod ay naging worth it po para sa amin. Ayun po.
Angel, yung 50-meter freestyle, from start to finish, ikaw ang nauna. Paano mo din nagawa yun? Kasi walang walang naka-second sa iyo eh. Marami palang naka-second, pero walang nauna sa iyo. Angel, sa freestyle, yan ba paborito mo o backstroke ba o butterfly?
Backstroke po talaga. So,
Okay.
yung nilangoy ko po sa freestyle, backstroke po yun. Kaya,
Okay.
confident na din po ako na kaya ko silang unahan sa pag-dive at saka sa touching po. Kasi ganun
Angel,
po yung
yung
trainings namin eh.
sa backstroke. Angel, yung magulang mo si Marlo at saka si Mila nandun sa Solo Indonesia, pinanood ka.
Opo.
Gaano kahalaga yung kanilang pagpupunta sa Solo para panuorin ka?
Ano po, yun, since first time ko po silang mapadala sa ibang bansa, first time po talaga nilang makapunta sa ibang bansa, naging honored po ako kaya habang nandoon po sila, parang feel ko mas safe po ako na mas confident na kailangan mas maipakita ko sa kanila na worth it po talaga yung pagsama nila sa akin na kahit gumastos po sila, doon ko po, naisip ko po na gawing inspirasyon yung mga hirap at sakripisyo nila kasi marami din po silang ginagawa dito eh. Si mama may trabaho po, tapos si papa po busy po minsan pag may trabaho din. And doon ko po pinakita sa kanila na habang sinasakripisyo nila yung hirap at pagod, ay naaabot ko po yung aim ko na na first place. Kailangan maging competitive ako, kailangan ko labanan na kahit bata po ako at na kailangan may mapondonayan po sa kanila. Ayun po.
Last question ko sa iyo, Angel, nung napanganak ka, meron kang disability. Yung ba naisip mo na malaking handicap sa iyo o binaliwala mo 'yon?
Di ko po talaga masyadong pinapansin yung disability ko. Kasi parang normal lang din po ako kasi galing po ako sa eskwelahang normal lang din po. Tapos yung mga kasama ko doon, kailangan makisabay po ako sa kanila. At saka yung mga ka-teammates ko po, na habang nakikita ko sila, normal lang din po lahat. Sumasabay sila kahit yung iba ay konti lang yung kapansanan. Kaya nilang sabayan yun, kaya nilang matunayan na hindi po talaga hadlang yung pagkakaroon ng disability. At saka po, kung laging positibo yung nasa isip mo, dun magiging result na yung mismong sarili mo po. Kasi, kunwari habang nag-iisip ka ng mga positibong pananaw, dun mo maipakikita yung sarili mo. Yun yung magiging result. Yun po.
Angel, nung napanak ka, anong disability mo? Wala kang arms o anong nga disability
both
mo?
arms po. Sa kabila po, wala po talaga. Tapos dito po, meron pong maliit na daliri.
Okay. But in spite of that, nakaka-backstroke ka, nakaka-butterfly ka. Kaya, wow, super congratulations, Angel. Ngayon naman, kausapin natin si Sander. Sander, wow, 4 gold medals sa ASEAN Paragames. You are a FIDE master. And your 4 gold medals sa ASEAN Paragames came in individual and team standard and individual and team rapid. But we also know that in 2020, you won the physically disabled chess online rapid championship. So, Sander, tell us about your experience sa ASEAN Paragames. Naging madali ba yung pagkakuha mo ng 4 gold medals o nahirapan ka ng konti? Sander.
Ay, Sir Kinito, no? Medyo mahirap yung experience namin ngayon sa personal experience ko sa ASEAN kasi yung Indonesia nagpalakas sila. So yung ina-expect namin na competition talaga medyo mabigat talaga siya kasi yung lineup nila may international master na rin yung Indonesia. So yung standard competition meron doon sa round 5 same kami score ng ng Indonesian player. So kailangan must win. So medyo mahirap yun kasi kung based sa calculation ni Coach James, ang yung tiebreaker pag mag-draw yung game, matatalo kami sa tiebreak. So magiging silver ako. So yung team result magiging silver din siya. So another extra extra pressure yun sa akin. Pero dahil din siguro sa tiwala ni Coach James tapos mga kampe, samahan pa yung prayers. Ayun po, medyo naka-deliver ng maganda, naka 2 goals dun sa standard event. Tapos dun yung momentum hanggang sa sa rapid competition naman. Medyo maganda. Pero pahirapan din, Sir Kenito, no? Hanggang dun sa Blitz event. May isa pa akong event, yung Blitz. Doon naman ako nakakuha ng 2 silver pa. So tie break din yun sa sa Blitz. 5.5 kami parehas ng Indonesian player. Pero dahil dun sa tie break, pati yung team result naging silver din siya. So kung nag-gold ako siguro dun sa Blitz, another 2 medals din sana yung gold medal. Pero sabi ko nga yung lahat ng medals na nakukuha namin, especially ng akin, true players pa rin. So nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord kung ano yung mga medal na nakukuha ko ay yun po. Dahil din yun sa training tsaka best effort lang lagi during competition.
Grabe pala ang pressure sa iyo, Sander. Ikaw na nga ang nagbuhat sa ating Philippine team sa chess, no? Sa gold medal dun sa standard. Pero just talking about your chess history, Sander, no? Alam ko yung mga chess players palagi nag-aaral, palagi nilang pinapanood at pinapakinggan kung ano yung mga sinasabi ng mga ibang chess masters. Ikaw naman, sa loob ng isang araw, how many hours ang binibigay mo sa pag-aaral ng chess, pagbabasa ng mga libro, at tinitingnan kung ano yung mga ginagawa ng mga ibang chess players?
So sa akin, Sir Kinito, no, may lang naman. Kumbaga, kailangan talaga everyday may ginagawa ka. So kung wala namang competition, siguro mga 1 hour sa umaga, sa hapon, mga 2 hours na naman. Laro lang. So yung result siguro ng ASEAN Paragames, hindi naman to siya yung biglaan lang overnight na resulta, no? So mula pa ng bata ako, tuloy-tuloy talaga yung competition, elementary, high school, hanggang ngayon na. So mahaba na yung yung experience sa chess. So yun siguro yung yung advantage kasi sa dami ng games, sa dami ng mga opportunities, tsaka tournaments na nasalihan na.
Sander, just to mention to our viewers kung ano nangyari sa'yo, 8 years old ka nung nagkaroon ka ng bike accident at naging paralytica. Tama ba yon, Sander?
Sir Kinito, no? 5 years old ako. So pag naglalakad ako, sa toes lang So medyo na-out balance. Kaya nung nagbabike kami ng papa ko galing school, sinundo niya ako, na-aksidente kami, na-messed up siya doon sa parang kanal, nalaglag kami, tapos yung pisngi ko na talaga na nagkasugat-sugat. So yun, pinahit talaga, kailangan ipahin. So yun, dahil doon sa recommendation ng doktor, sabi niya ipa-check ako sa ortho talaga kasi yung paglalakad ko hindi talaga siya normal So yun, dinala ako sa PGH, doon na laman na may sakit ko yung muscular dystrophy siya. So yun po, tapos yung sabi ng doktor, pero mga 20 years old na ako daw, pwede na akong mamatay, parang ganun. So yun yung nila, yung initial nila na assessment, diagnosis that time, nung mga 8 years old ako, parang ganun.
Well, God has certainly big plans for you, Sander. 37 years old ka na, still going strong and winning medals for the Philippines. Kanya, again, a big congratulations sa iyo. Ngayon naman,
Thank you po.
pag-usapan natin yung nangyari kay Gerald Mangliwan. Okay, nasa loob siya ng kotse at yet found time to talk with us. Gerald, ang kasaysayan mo naman sa ASEAN Paragames, nakakuha ka ng gold medal sa 100 meters and 400 meter wheelchair racing. Kumusta naman? Kumusta naman ang nangyari doon?
Yes, sir. Yes po, yes po. So yung actually yung 100 meters at saka 400 meters gold quiz talagang pinaghandaan ko talaga yan kasi for the longest time kasi nagkaroon kami ng walang games nung 2020 supposedly sa atin, and then 2017 wala pa yung event ko eh, and then 2015 kasi yung last na nagkaroon ako ng medal sa Southeast Asia eh. So sabi ko sa sarili ko, magkaroon man ng pagkakataon ngayon kasi dahil sa mga nangyayaring pandemic na sabi ko mag-prepare talaga ako dito. Meron mang laro wala, talaga mag-training ako kasi ginusto ko to eh. Kumbaga ito yung mga pagkakataon na pwede nating sabihin kasi hindi palagi binibigay yung opportunity na to eh. So sabi ko nag-prepare ako talaga dito. So nagkaroon kami ng magandang training program, preparation yung buong team ng para-athletics. So hindi lang naman po ako, kumbaga pati yung mga teammates ko, maganda rin yung yung showing nila sa Kaya po ng isang yung training partner ko po, bago lang din siya, nag-silver po siya sa 100 meters. So sabi ko, yung mga ginawa natin nagbunga. So kumbaga thankful lang kami kasi as always naman na yung mga coaches namin na nandyan na gumagabay palagi. Kahit nga nagte-training kami sir ako nagte-training ako sa San Jose del Monte, Bulacan. Yung coach ko nandito sa Cavite, mino-monitor niya ako through virtual nung hindi pa kami nagbabubble sa So tuloy-tuloy lang yung naging training. So maganda po yung naging result. Although hindi mga personal bet. Kasi yung track din pala, yung isang isang factor dun is hindi siya fast track for us sa wheelchair. So ganoon po, medyo ayos naman po yung naging result po.
Gerald, pumasok ka sa wheelchair racing noong 2009 kung hindi tayo nagkakamali. And so you've
Yes,
only
sir.
been in wheelchair racing for 13 years. Yet, dalawa ng Paralympics ang pinuntahan mo, sa Rio at saka sa Tokyo. Yung experience mo being a Paralympic veteran, nakatulong ba sa ASEAN Paragames?
Yes sir. Actually malaking tulong yun eh. Tsaka yung mga equipment din kasi na pinrovide naman sa amin is talagang isa rin sa factor yan na nagbigay din ng kumbaga tumaas din yung confidence namin sa na mag-perform talaga ng maganda. And coming from the 2021 Tokyo Paralympics is actually nag-set po ako ng mga personal best ko doon. Kumbaga nung pagkatapos noon is siguro rest lang ako ng mga isang linggo, and then back to training na po hanggang sa dumating na yung itong 11th ASEAN Paragames sa Solo, Indonesia. So naging lang po sir, naging smooth lang yung kumbaga tuloy-tuloy lang yung naging outcome ng laro. Tsaka yung result ng mga games namin.
Bago tayo nag-umpisa ng ating show, nag-uusap tayo, nagkukwentuhan tayo, sabi mo 42 years old ka na. Baka ikaw daw ang pinaka-bata sa team natin, pinaka-veterano at most experienced. Ano naman ang masasabi mo tungkol sa edad natin?
Yes sir, lang yan. Ang edad is lang yan eh. Number lang po yun eh.
Okay.
sabi nila. Pero sa tingin ko sir, discipline lang at saka yung condition lang palagi yung sarili at alam mo yung paniniwala kasi na kaya mong i-beat kung ano man yung mga challenges na yun. So isa naging factor na yan na kumbaga yung edad is andyan na eh. So sabi ko perform ko lang yung the best ko as always naman kasi ako yung kasi ng tao na hardcore talaga ako training talagang hindi ko iniintindi yung sakit yan bukas o basta ganoon. Yun yung mga ganong tsaka discipline lang. Tamang nutrition, tamang tulog, yung mga ganon. Kasi yung laro namin is nagre-require ng physical So yung mga ganong lang po aspeto. Tsaka tamang gabay din po ng mga ng mga tao na naniniwala sa amin. Kaya nga po ng MSA namin, ang Philippine Paralympic Committee na as always naman na Kung may mga kailangan kami is magsabi lang kami. Sila yung nagiging daan para alam mo yun So yung mga ganong mga bagay sir, nagbibigay ng yan ng lakas ng sa sarili kahit na sabihin na natin nandun na sa hindi wala pa naman sa twilight siguro kasi kaya ko pa mag-perform ng
Malayo pa, malayo pa. Gerald, pag tumatanda tayo, si Mr. Barredo, namumuti ang kanyang buhok. Pero ikaw parang nagiging blood ka yata. Ano nangyari?
Siguro sir, kumbaga pahiyang, kumbaga new
Pahiyang lang.
Parang binabalik lang natin yung sir, yung tawag dito, yung kabataan.
Sigla.
Sabi nga ng mga anak ko, paano yung nangyari yun sa buhok ko? Sabi ko.
Tinatawanan kanina Angel at saka kanina Sander, kanina Ernie, pati si
Titinaan ko na rin yung buhok ko.
Gerald, one last question. Nung 2 years old ka, doon mo yata nalaman ng magulang mo na meron kang polio. Tuloy, you became a paraplegic. Yung handicap na yon, yung disability na yon, it had to be a challenge. Pero yet, yung mindset mo at saka yung disposition mo, napakaganda. Ito sa pag-uusap natin, ang ganda ng vibe na nararamdaman namin sa pag-uusap natin. Gerald, paki-explain nga yung mindset mo.
Yes sir, actually yung pagdating naman sa ganun, from the family din, kumbaga, yung support ng family, at saka yung naniniwala ng tao sa akin talagang, as always, palagi yung isinusukli yung yung mga ganung tiwala nila sa akin na hindi sinisira yung mga ganung And yung tiwala sila sa sarili, tsaka yun yung pinaka-importante dun eh.
Ngayon naman, kausapin natin si Ernie Gawilan. Siya yung, pwede natin sabihin, the face of the Philippine Paralympic movement. At si Ernie has already participated in 2 Paralympics, gaya ni Gerald. At Ernie, ang ganda na naman ang pinakita mo sa ASEAN Paragames. Since 2014, nung naglako ka sa ASEAN Paragames, you have captured 9 gold medals, 3 silvers, and 3 bronze medals. Kanya, super galing ang ginagawa mo para sa ating bansa. And Ernie, sa 200 individual medley at saka sa 400 meter freestyle in men's swimming, doon ka nakakuha ng gold sa Solo, Indonesia. Kumusta naman ang partisipasyon mo doon sa swimming events sa Indonesia? Ernie.
Hello po sir. Opo sir, maganda po yung naging resulta nung bubble training na binigay po sa amin ng Philippine Sports Commission sa pamamagitan po ng inisi namin dahil yung inisi po kasi namin yung nag-request para makapag-bubble kami. Yun po ay ginawa din po ng coach namin para mag-request po sa inisi namin. At hindi naman po nasayang yung bubble training na binigay sa amin ng Philippine Sports Commission dahil yun po, nagbunga naman po yung swimming talaga na marami pong naiuwing medalya. At yun nga po, isa na po ako dun sa nakapag-produce ng medalya para sa unang ginto po ng Pilipinas, sir. Kaya maganda po yung sir, maganda po yung naging ko doon, naging resulta ng mga laro ko doon dahil halos lahat naman po nung nilaro ko doon sa Tokyo, Japan po, yung Paralympic, nag-improve naman po siya, sir. So, maganda po. Yung naging programa ng sa amin.
Ernie, marami ka ng bansang nabisita. Ito, sasabihin ko sa iyo kung ano mga bansang napuntahan mo. Japan, nakapunta ka na sa Indonesia, sa Italy, sa India, sa Malaysia, sa Myanmar, sa Singapore, sa New Zealand, sa Korea, sa Brazil. So, sa lahat ng mga bansang napuntahan mo, Ernie, anong pinaka-paborito mong bansang bisitahin?
Sa akin, sir, yung natuwa po talaga ako sa Myanmar, sir. Kasi,
bakit?
po. Opo. Po kasi ako doon, napakanta po, sir.
Napakanta ka?
Maganda. Okay. Po, sir, yung pagkatapos na po ng laro, sir, parang po, yung celebration po.
So Myanmar ang pinaka-paborito mong destination. Okay. Ngayon naman, Ernie, pag-usapan natin yung kung ano nangyari sa buhay mo, no? At nabasa ko sa ilang mga istorya tungkol sa iyo na you survived an attempted abortion. nawala ang mama mo nung 5 months old ka, tapos yung ama mo, inabandon ka, pero yung lolo mo ang kumuha sa'yo at pinalaki ka at napunta ka sa Davao kung saan nagtrabaho ka bilang isang housekeeper sa isang parang kumbento. So, doon yata nag-umpisa yung pagbubukas ng mata mo sa competitive sports, especially sa swimming. At noong 2008, doon sa Philippine Olympic Festival, lumaho ka sa swimming, pero wala ka yatang swimming trunks yung sa festival na yun. Ano ba nangyari doon? Ba't nawala ang swimming trunks mo? At anong ginamit mo doon sa competition na yun?
Sir, i-clarify ko lang po yung sa napunta po ako sa foundation kasi yun din po yung lagi kong nakikita sa article na parang pumunta nga daw po ako dinala daw po ako dun sa foundation para magtrabaho po. Yung totoo po, hindi po talaga siya yung required na magtrabaho kami. Kumbaga, pinasok kami doon para pag-aralin po ng foundation. Tapos yung parang supli po doon sa pinapaaral kami ng libre, parang tumutulong po kami sa mga gawain doon sa loob ng ng center po.
Okay. Doon naman sa Philippine Olympic Festival, ano nangyari doon?
Opo sir, yun po kasi yung first time kong lumahok sa sa competition na kasi hindi ko din po kasi akalain na magrerepresenta ako ng region namin sa Davao City po. Yung nangyari po kasi doon dahil po nung sumali po kasi doon, dalawa po kasi yung yung event ko po, table tennis at saka swimming po. So bali yung na-priority ko po nung time na yon, yung table tennis. Tapos yung swimming trunks ko na yun sana yung gagamitin ko pang swimming, naiwan po doon sa school kung saan po kami naka-dorm po. So yun po, yung tinawag na kami, nagulantang po ako kasi di ko pala suot yung swimming trunks ko. Yung nagamit ko pong pang swimming, yung yung six-pack po na na short, cargo short po. So doon po maganda naman po yung naging resulta kahit na ganun po yung suot kong pang swimming. Pa rin po, nag second place pa rin po kay Kuya Arnel Aba po.
Tapos si Kuya Arnel yata ang nag-engganyo sa iyo na pumasok na sa national team. Ano nga yung suot-suot mo? Anong sabi mo? Six pack?
Six-pack cargo short po, sir.
Cargo shorts. Kalahin mo nga. Ayun palagay ko hindi mo nagagamitin yon sa swimming competition at meron ka ng palaging ginagamit na swimming trunks provided by the Philippine Paralympic Committee. Pero Ernie, super congratulations sa iyo. Sa kasaysayan mo bilang isang atleta. You're only 31 years old. Marami pang ASEAN Paragames ang masasalihan mo. Ganun din sa Paralympics. And Mike, you must be very proud of the achievements of all of these athletes. We heard about Angel, we heard about Sander, Ernie, as well as Gerald. Medyo nawala sa atin si Gerald because he's on the road. But Mike, you must be so proud of these athletes.
Oh yes, every time that we have this kind of we finish these games and I hear them talking about their achievements, it just makes me feel very proud of what they are able to do and to show our countrymen that they do have a venue and a chance in life to excel and inspire our countrymen. So I feel very good about it, and I suppose I shall continue to push for this advocacy for as long as we will have people like Ernie, Gerald, Angel, and Sander that will continue to compete for our country.
Well, with your leadership and your direction, I'm sure the Philippine Paralympic Committee will continue to make gains and grow from this outstanding performance in the ASEAN Paragames. Bago tayo magtapos, can we ask final words from unang-una kay Angel? Baka meron kang gustong ipasalamat sa mga nanonood, sa mga sumusuporta sa iyo. Angel, please.
Hello po. Unang-una sa lahat, salamat po sa opportunity na sinama niyo po ako dito at salamat din po sa mga support ninyo, lalo na po sa PSC. And thank you po sa mga pagbibigay po ng tulong sa amin, pangailangan mga para-athletes po. Salamat din po sa parents ko na walang sawang sumama po at mag-alaga sa akin at magmahal. At sa mga coaches ko po, hello. Tapos sa mga ka-teammates ko po, mga kaklase ko dyan. Sa mga friends and families ko po, maraming salamat po. Yun lang po.
Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Angel. Very inspiring ka. Sander, ikaw naman.
Sir Kinito, salamat sa opportunity na binigay mo sa amin na ma-share yung experience at story namin. Ay, yun po, nagpapasalamat ako kay Sir Mike, no? Sir Mike Barredo, kasi since 2005 pa ako naging member ng national team, no? So, malaki na talagang improvement dahil sa leadership at tulong na binibigay ni Sir Mike para sa mga para-athletes. So Sir Mike, maraming salamat talaga. Kung wala ka, siguro yung mga natatanggap namin ngayon, hindi namin matatanggap to kung wala ka. Dahil doon sa iyo, maraming salamat at saka sa Philippine Sports Commission sa patuloy nila na pagsuporta sa amin sa pagbibigay ng mga equipments sa mga pangailangan namin. Maraming salamat sa mga previous officials, mga commissioners, saka chairman. Malaki na talaga yung pagbabago at improvement na nangyari sa Philippine sports. So, salamat. Saka sa lahat ng mga sumusuporta sa para-athletes, salamat. Saka especially sa para-chess team. Thank you. Patuloy na kang suporta at magdasal para sa mga next competition namin. Thank you po.
Thank you, Sander. Ernie, ikaw naman.
Opo, sir. Unang-una po sa lahat, sir. Gusto ko pong magpasalamat kay God dahil yun nga po, umabot po tayo sa 2022 at ito po, nagkikita pa rin po tayo. At yun po, gusto ko pong magpasalamat unang-una sa NEC namin dahil sila naman po talaga yung dahilan kung ba't andyan din kami dahil sila yung kinikilala ng Philippine Sports Commission at ng Paralympic movement. Dahil po sa NEC namin, andyan din po kami at nabibigyan kami ng pansin dahil po sa pamamahala po ni Sir Mike po. Sir, salamat po. Talaga, sir.
You're welcome.
Napakalaking tulong niyo po sa katulad namin na para-athlete na naghahangad ng pansin ng mga nasa taas na nanunungkulan para sa bansa. At maraming salamat din po sa Philippine Sports Commission dahil sa walang sawang pagsusuporta sa para-athlete at talagang sinusuportahan po nila yung para-sports dito sa bansa natin. At yun po, totoo po yung sinabi ni Kuya Sander na talagang ang laki po ng pinag-improve ng para-sports dito sa bansa dahil yun nga po, marami na po yung mga nakakapansin. Dahil po sa mga media, lahat po kayo talagang kunikta po lahat. Maraming salamat po sa mga katulad yung media, sir, dahil kayo po yung dahilan kung ba't napaparating yung sports ng para sa ibang nayon, lalong-lalo na dito sa atin na nasa island tayo. Tapos yun po, maraming salamat po at sa mga nanonood po ng programa at sa mga sumusuporta po ng para sports sa bansa. God bless you all po.
Maraming salamat, Ernie. And finally, Mr. Michael Barredo, again, super congratulations sa lahat ng ginagawa mo. You have also been recognized not only in the field of sports, but also in the field of business as someone who is such an inspiring person to our countrymen. And Mike, if you can share with us some of your own personal experiences in the Paralympics. We know that we've gotten 2 bronze medals so far in the Paralympics. Adeline Dumapong in 2000 in powerlifting and Josephine Medina in table tennis in 2016. Josephine was actually an alternate in the Philippine team for the 2021-22 Tokyo Paralympics, but she passed away during the Paralympics, and that was certainly a very painful blow to the movement. But still, her memory inspires us to strive even harder. And Michael, just a few final words from you, and we'd certainly like to hear what you have to say about the future of Paralympics in the Philippines.
Well, 25 years, Kenito, is probably just the beginning of many more good years to come. I'm I'm very happy to hear what our para athletes have shared with us today. Like I said, it's very hard. Well, how do I say it? It's very heart moving that we see success, we see them achieving, we see them inspiring our countrymen, and I believe that it is now important, more important now that our government, together with the private sector, will give more and what they can towards supporting our para athletes achieve sporting excellence, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, to make it form a more inclusive Philippine society through para sports. And I think that people like yourself, Kenito, and then all those people that are dedicated to sports, and I guess sports for all, if it's not for your dedication, commitment to help the sporting community, to include people with disabilities, I think, like Ernie said, without you, we will not be able to reach out to more Filipinos and to let them know that there is such a thing as para sports and the Paralympic movement, and so many people with disabilities that actually have abilities. And maybe I would like to, of course, if you don't mind, Kinita, I'd like to also pay tribute to an icon in sports as well. Our queen of the 100-meter dash, Lydia De Vega, who happened to be my call it batchmate in the 1992 Outstanding Young Men and Women Awards, which Ramos himself had handed out to us then for her dedication. You know that she was also she would also be in our Paragames in Singapore and others when she helped the Singapore team in disability, those with disability as well, in the field of in athletics. And of course, her dedication again showed that the Filipino can, and this is what we want to do for our movement. And if I may, Kinito, really, I think this endeavor will continue for as long as we have everyone contributing to it. And if I may quote a very famous man when he talks about courage and never giving up, and I think that's what's important for our people with disabilities and everyone to hear. And I'd like to quote Winston Churchill when he said that success is never final, failure is never fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And I think our para athletes clearly show that it is their courage, one of the most important core values of the Paralympic movement: determination, courage, equality, inspiration is so important for us to share with everyone. So, for as long as our athletes will continue to have that courage and determination to move on and to show everyone about the importance of their abilities and that they will continue to bring honor and glory for our country, and there will be people dedicated in supporting us, I'm sure that we will eventually reach our goal of achieving that first Paralympic gold medal as well in the coming Paralympics to come. Thank you again, Kenito, for having us and the opportunity to be with you in this show of yours.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much to all of our guests, Angel, Ernie, Gerald, and Sander. Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. And you've made this show super special with your presence. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Mabuhay.
Thank you, Mike.
Mabuhay.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, Angel. Mabuhay kayong lahat.
Thank you po. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
po.
Complimentary landmark tab
Thank you,
selected
Kinito.
private chat.
Thanks, Michael. At dyan po nagtatapos ang ating episode, a very inspiring, very revealing episode on the Paralympic movement of the Philippines with Mr. Michael Barredo as president and represented by four outstanding athletes in the recent ASEAN Paragames. And we heard their life stories. We heard how they overcame their disabilities, their handicaps, to be able to overachieve in the field of sports. And as Mr. Barredo said, with persons with disabilities, if they have the ability to achieve, what more those without disabilities? So they certainly are an inspiration to everyone. Disability or no disability, we are all human beings striving for excellence. especially for our country. And with that, we'd like to say thank you again. And please don't forget, like and subscribe, and get notified every time we have new episodes, new insights, and new shows for you. And we'd also like to thank our sister company, playitright.com. They've been supporting us through the years, through all of our episodes. They have special prices, special promos, special sales all the time. So log in, playitright.com, find out what you want. They've got Mikasa volleyballs, Molten basketballs, ASICs, footwear and apparel, everything that you need in terms of sports accessories, sports equipment. Playitright.com is the spot for you. This is Kinito Hanson. Thank you very much for being with us. Remember, play it right all the time.